On a quiet night in the North Pacific, Korean Air Flight 007 began its journey from New York City to Seoul, South Korea with a layover in Anchorage, Alaska. The Boeing 747 was carrying 246 passengers and 23 crew members, a mix of Koreans and Americans. However, they had no idea that their journey would soon be interrupted by unforeseen dangers that would make history. The flight departed from Gate 15 of John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City at 00:25, 35 minutes after its scheduled departure time of 23:50 on August 30th. Passengers were comfortably seated in their plane, unaware that the political tensions of the Cold War would soon affect their flight. Most of them were relaxed, enjoying the rhythmic dance of navigation lights as they cut through the darkness. It was the year September 1st, 1983, and the world was gripped by suspicion where every flight carried an unspoken tension. It's important to have some knowledge about the year 1983. The year 1983 was marked by significant political tensions during the Cold War. Several events contributed to this heightened state of international relations, including the US invasion of Grenada, the deployment of US intermediate-range nuclear forces to Western Europe. One of the most notable incidents was the war scare in November 1983 when the Soviet Union nearly launched a nuclear attack against the West due to a misinterpretation of NATO's war preparations. This period is often regarded as one of the most dangerous moments of the Cold War, with both the United States and the Soviet Union coming close to a potential nuclear conflict. Coming to the topic, as the aircraft crossed into the airspace near Sakhalin Island, it deviated from its planned course. Technical glitches and a navigational error caused Korean Air Flight 007 to drift towards Soviet territory. Little did the crew and passengers know, a secret drama was unfolding high above the clouds. The Boeing 747 of Korean Air Flight 007 was refueling at Anchorage International Airport in Anchorage, Alaska, preparing for its onward journey to Seoul. This was on August 31st, 1983 at 4 a.m. in the morning. The night sky over Anchorage was calm, giving no hint of the events that would soon transpire in the vast expanse of the North Pacific. Its engines humming, the bustling activity on the tarmac masked the geopolitical tension that would cast a shadow over this routine flight. Captain Chung Bung, a seasoned ex-Korean Air Force pilot, was in command of the flight, with First Officer Son Dang-hee and Flight Engineer Kim E-dong completing the skilled crew. As the crew carried out pre-flight checks inside the cockpit, they were unaware of the impending danger. The Boeing 747 was equipped with the Inertial Navigation System (INS), a crucial tool for navigating the North Pacific. The crew entered the coordinates for the flight plan, charting a course that would take them over the world's largest ocean. However, as the aircraft climbed into the night sky, technical glitches and a navigational error began to cause problems. The crew was oblivious to the fact that their trajectory was subtly deviating from the planned route. A glitch in the INS and the complexities of programming waypoints caused Flight 007 to drift off course. Initially, the crew remained unaware of the subtle shift in their trajectory. As the aircraft crossed into the airspace near Sakhalin Island, the deviation became more pronounced. Flight 007 was now unintentionally encroaching on Soviet territory, about to become entangled in a web of geopolitical complexity. The Soviet Union, vigilant and wary of potential threats, detected an intruder on its radar screens. The blip on the radar became a puzzle wrapped in uncertainty, a potential breach of the Iron Curtain that separated the East from the West. In the command centers of the Soviet military, suspicion ripened into paranoia, and a decision was made. This intruder must be intercepted. In the darkness of the night, a Su-15 interceptor jet took off into the night sky with the mission of identifying and neutralizing any potential threats that entered Soviet airspace. On Korean Air Flight 007, the crew began to feel uneasy as they realized they were navigating into unknown territory, where geopolitics and aviation intertwine in a dangerous dance. As the Soviet interceptor closed in, the passengers on Flight 007 remained unaware of the impending danger. The Su-15, a symbol of Soviet military power, locked onto its target with precision. Fear settled over the passengers as they realized they were pawns in a high-stakes geopolitical chess match. In a heart-stopping moment, the silence of the night was shattered as the Su-15 launched a barrage of air-to-air missiles. Explosions rocked Flight 007, shattering the illusion of safety and throwing the cabin into chaos. Panic gripped the passengers as they faced the reality of their situation. The damaged aircraft began to descend towards the ocean below. The calm and indifferent North Pacific became the final resting place for the 246 passengers and 23 crew members on board Flight 007. The collision of geopolitics and human existence left a tragic mark on history, reminding the world of the dangers of political turmoil in the skies. Investigations. Following the downing of Korean Air Flight 007, both the International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO) and the United Nations launched separate investigations into the incident. The ICAO investigation revealed that the crew of Flight 007 had made a navigational error, leading them to enter Soviet airspace. Technical problems and a failure to respond to warnings were identified as contributing factors. Soviet Union's response. Initially, the Soviet Union denied any involvement in the downing of the aircraft. This led to international criticism, with many countries questioning the Soviet Union's handling of the situation. The country's initial refusal to acknowledge responsibility and interference with search and rescue efforts further exacerbated the situation. Tensions and condemnation. After the downing of Korean Air Flight 007, President Ronald Reagan condemned the Soviet Union's actions as a crime against humanity. The United States strongly criticized the Soviet Union for violating international law, denying involvement and obstructing search efforts. The incident heightened Cold War tensions, exacerbating the already strained relationship between the two superpowers. The tragic event had significant diplomatic repercussions, underscoring the gravity of the situation and the U.S. commitment to holding the Soviet Union accountable. The lingering shadows. The aftermath of the incident left an indelible mark on aviation history. Increased scrutiny of airline safety and security measures followed, reshaping the discourse on international aviation safety. Korean Airlines faced criticism for its safety culture and previous incidents, prompting a reassessment of safety protocols within the industry. The downing of Flight 007 became a somber reminder that even routine flights could be entangled in the complex web of international politics. Families, nations, and the aviation industry as a whole grappled with the consequences of the unseen threats that unfolded high above the North Pacific. The tale of Korean Air Flight 007, while fading from the headlines, continued to echo through history, a poignant reminder that even in the most routine moments, the unseen threats of geopolitics can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow and resilience.